Heyo, my name is Blaze Creek, and I founded and lead one of the largest and most active virtual reality-based roleplay communities, and I also oversee multiple virtual reality-centered projects, and I'm weirdly known in a lot of spheres, and I have a long history, I guess you could say long-lost history, of voice acting, semi-professional gaming, and a lot of involvement in video game-based roleplay projects over the last, I don't even know how many years. Now, this video is sponsored, but everything in the video itself are my words and beliefs, and the Hapus can vouch because they hear about it every week. Now, I've made a couple iterations of this video, and originally it was going to be significantly more detailed and a lot longer, covering essentially all of the topics you could think of relating to Massive Loop, but that's a little too long, and I wanted to get this video out on the first, which only gave me like 3 or 4 days of actual development on it. So this is a much smaller version of that video. While saying that, I cover pretty much all of the main points that I feel necessary, and I'm happy with it. That said, what started as a research project in 2018 has, over the past few years, developed into, well, as the title suggests, we're going to talk about a project that I've been both personally and professionally supporting for quite some time now. Massive Loop Metaverse is a virtual reality platform where you can do a lot. You're able to explore awesome and unique worlds and express yourself in ways people would never think possible. Now, my favorite sentence ever uttered by anyone is, "Be who you want to be, Barbie girl," and that applies without question. Whether you want to be a cute creature like a cat, or a normal person, an anime girl, whatever. With a wide choice of both user-created and staff-made avatars, there's plenty of variety and interesting characters to play as and interact with. And since avatars are player models, whichever word you want to use to describe the characters or creation, is something you could also make yourself with a little bit of Unity knowledge and some prefab assets, as the majority of content is fueled by the player base. So if there isn't a player model of a character that you really want to play as, you or someone else could bring it into the game. But the Unity and development side of things, so avatars, worlds, and basic scripting will be different videos in the future, as I've yet to fully learn everything to the point of, well, being confident in teaching others my janky style of creating. But fear not, it isn't difficult, and they do have tutorial videos, which will be linked in the description, and I'll eventually have my own. But just like avatars, the worlds you can visit are both player and staff made. And there are a lot of really cool places to visit and explore. You could play games with your friends too, or, whether you just want to hang out, drive cars, or fight each other in a deathmatch world. There's plenty of activities for every audience. Whether it's just hanging out, exploring the outdoors while at home, or stumbling into a magical new realm, there's lots to see and lots to do in Massive Loop. And the worlds are all really fucking nice. I think all the worlds that I visited have been really pretty, and they have all been really, really fun to explore with my friends. But what is Massive Loop itself? It's a VR social platform. Now, you could think of that in a couple of different ways. We've had plenty of social platform examples in the past, both in VR and just as games themselves. But Massive Loop is different in a lot of ways, especially in the terms of, well, you yourself can bring your creations into the game, whether that's a world of your own or avatars of your own, which you could also share with other people. So if you made something, someone else could wear it or use it. Or say you made a world, somebody could explore in it or play your games. Which is just, when I grew up, I didn't think any of this kind of stuff would be possible. And look at where we are now. I can talk to who knows how many people. while I'm sitting at home, but I'm in VR and there's a fireplace behind me. Like, that's really cool. But Massive Loop being a social VR platform, there's really endless possibilities for what you can do. It's ultimately up to the users, you, for what kind of content is made and hosted. Whether that's beautiful worlds where you just go explore and see nature, or say a game world and you want to go play chess with the homies. But it's really freaking cool, man. And I've been showing some of my friends unrelated to what I do this project, and they've been enjoying it a lot. And I think there are dogs fighting at my feet. Oh god. So Massive Loop is organized into servers, worlds, and avatars. And servers are a collection of worlds and avatars that have their own rules. So servers would be really good for, say, like a company, communities, groups, or uh, content creators that have a lot of stuff, or like avatars, worlds, and it allows you to deliver a really interesting, unique, high quality, and just, I've been wanting it for a long time. I'm excited. But it allows you to provide really interesting experiences to your communities, your audiences, your to the people around you, or the people you want to show it off to. And it gives you control over which avatars are approved, member acceptance, creator restrictions, age restrictions. So, with each server having its own worlds, avatars, and rules, that's something I've been wanting for actual years. That provides someone like me who has an entire community's worth of avatars and worlds, our own space to call our own. What you could do with that is absolutely absurd and exactly what I've been asking for from a VR company. I, Years of asking for it. It's amazing. I can have my own server for the Hapus and Abyssals. It's so cool. It's so exciting. But there's a lot of other things like avatars, which I've been showcasing on the screen for a little while now. There are so many avatars that you could be, so many ways to express yourself, and even if you wanted to, you could roleplay. There's so many things you can do, see, and be, which is just, I love it. It's so much fun. Now, there was originally an audio explaining all of this, but apparently it doesn't exist. It's corrupted. But there are so many different apps, features, and tools that you can use or play with and try out. I'm going to have a video detailing most of them. The app section will be a video of its own. From a functionality standpoint, it has all of the features you'd expect from a VR social platform and a lot more. Right now, I've been messing with director mode a lot, which lets me do a lot of cool stuff. So let me show you how it works, at least in a general sense, and a lot of the other cool things in the little apps section of your menu. So for here, it's all the way over here by your settings, but in apps, you've got all this stuff. Now, I want to play with director mode first, but I already have it turned on. Now, after you turn it on, you'll see something like either this or this. This is where you can add more cameras. I already set up a couple because I thought I'd show off a couple different angles and what you can do, but a very basic rundown. So this is the camera that I'm using right now. It's in my hand. These are the basic settings. This is so it's up close. At least this is what works for my model. Now there's a little bit more you can do than just changing rotation, angle, and distance, but I'll show you a couple of the things that I've been messing with. And you can do a lot with director mode. I just haven't figured out everything yet, and I thought I'd show you some of the cool different angles that you could do, and it's really simple, to be fair. Director mode is pretty straightforward, and I like it a lot. So let's change to this one. I think that's right over here. Yeah. So I can let go of this camera now. We should be changed. Hi. But this one's a little further away. I wasn't sure how I wanted to demonstrate, multiple angles. But here's another one. But this one's just of the landscape in general, which there are a lot of very nice worlds in Massive Loop. This one is pretty, well, pretty. I like the vibe a lot, and I thought it'd be a really good world to show off director mode and talk about it a little bit. But I'll do a more detailed video that isn't sponsored on director mode. That way I can actually, showcase everything that you can do with it and talk about it in more depth. Otherwise, this video would probably be like 45 minutes long. But yeah, director mode is really cool, and I've been enjoying it a lot. I still haven't figured out all of its secrets, and I haven't figured every little thing out, but it's been really fun. There's the camera. Let's take this one back. So there are some other ones too, outside of director mode. Now, there are no other users here, but there is a user compass. So if there were other people in the instance that I'm in, you would be able to see, how far away they are and request to teleport. This is something it's something that I've wanted for VR for a long time. So to be able to have that's really nice. Now, if I had my full body tracking on, I would mess with full body tracking, but I'm not going to do that. I didn't really want to try to TLDR, full body's awesome, but my track straps are broken. So, not today. But outside of full body tracking, which, by the way, it works really well. I've been getting to play around with it the past couple of days. I'll put this back for now. The full body tracking has been really, really nice, and I've been enjoying it a lot. They recently did an update that made it work a lot better for me, and it feels pretty smooth, and I haven't encountered any issues outside of when my dogs ram into my base stations, but that's not anyone's fault other than my dogs. But yeah, full body, it's come a long way. I remember how it was in the earliest days of VR, but it works pretty damn well here, which makes me happy. Now, outside of that, let's kidnap the mirror. I mean, not the mirror, the camera. So, a mirror is pretty simple. It's just a mirror. You have your buttons on the side here. Oh no. We're not going to mess with it too much, but you can have it follow you, like look at you. You can hide the UI, which I'm not going to do. But yeah, the mirror is pretty straightforward. Private chat I haven't messed around with, but the ability to be able to communicate with others in a private voice chat or a private text chat is really cool in my opinion. I can't see how to close it. Oh no, there it is. This camera can't pick up my external UIs because I have a couple running, but that was interesting. The browser is something that I've been really curious about, and I haven't looked into it too much, so we're probably not going to navigate that, but they do have their own browser in game. The camera we're not going to mess with since we already have director mode out. Chat is, well, a chat. Camera, do your thing. There you go. But yeah, it's just chat, which is really nice to have a actual text chat feature built into the game. That's really useful, especially because a lot of people who play VR related games are deaf or mute. So having the ability to communicate in game via text instead of vocalizing is really nice. So, heck yeah. That was something that made me happy when I saw that the first time. Camera, let me grab the camera. Oh no. Voice effects, I'm not going to be able to mess with that for this one, but basically voice mod, like modulation, so you can have filters to change your voice, change your pitch. Now OSC MIDI, I don't want to say it's beyond me. I know how it works, but I don't know how to begin to explain how that works. So I'm just not going to. There are other things too, like your alerts, which no, I don't have any notifications. The video was recorded at different parts through different days, so maybe that's different on a different part of the video. They also have an events section, like actually built into the game. Now there was nothing going on today, but this was something that made me really, really, really happy when it was implemented. An actual events calendar built into the game. That's fucking awesome. Contacts is contacts, you know, your friends, whoever's online. Yalla, I see a Brandon. And then the avatars will be their whole own thing. But yeah, that's director mode in a lot of the apps. Now, why did I decide to work with Massive Loop? Most people who know me are aware that I'm fairly critical and a little too honest about how I feel or what I believe. I've interacted with a lot of game developers and outright denounced or publicly fought projects. I've been around VR for about I want to say 6 years or so now. And I'm a witness to the beginning and downfall of almost every VR social platform. There isn't a lot I haven't seen or experienced at this point, and it's pretty much unheard of that I genuinely like and believe in a social platform or the people making it. Now, I agree with and like the vision they have for their platform, and I really do believe that what they have planned is solid. And so far, everything I've heard, I really like. And everything I've seen, I really like. Now, the people behind the project have been incredible. And being able to help out however I've been able, instead of being, ignored or left unseen, is really, really nice. It's not often that game developers actually listen to their community, let alone consistently interact or communicate, and they do all three extremely well, which in this industry, as a lot of you know, is really fucking rare. Now, another community leader and I have been helping out when we can and where we can with feature and direction suggestions alongside reporting any bugs we encounter. Now, their reception of our input and communication as a whole or overall has been really great. Now, the team hosts weekly events, which I think is really cool. The fact that the team behind the project is hosting, say, their happy hours is really fun. It's allowing the community an outlet to interact on a level you'd be hard pressed to find anywhere else. As I previously mentioned, I founded and run multiple communities and projects. It was decided long before any of this came about that we would be expanding into Massive Loop with our flagship project, Abyssal Order. The hub and home of the Abyssals, our lore, and my original interpretation of Hapu rating. Now, we wouldn't utilize these kinds of resources if we didn't believe in the vision long term, or if we didn't think they could be a genuine competitor in the VR play space. Our Abyss declares home, and as a community, we've been slowly embracing the project for quite some time. It's something that I quite frankly would like to see other communities do as well, because it's definitely worth trying out at the bare minimum. Now, we're working on two projects specific to this platform, which will bring Hapu and Abyssal Roleplay to, in my opinion, the next level, but that sounds kind of weird to say it. But I'd love for everyone to be able to experience our next generation of Hapu rating and Abyssal Roleplay, which is only going to be on Massive Loop. So my best friend and I were moving from our respective states of California and Arizona to become my girlfriend's roommates in Tennessee. And we had to stop in Oklahoma on the way there to visit my family and, get some sleep. But before leaving, we stopped by their offices for a few hours, and it was really special. We toured both the Massive Loop and human mode portions of the location, which was really awesome. Getting to see how everything worked and learning about all the different aspects of what they do was pretty insane. It was an insane experience. I've always had a general idea of how something like all of this would work, but actually getting to be there and interact with the people who make it all possible was something else entirely. I had a lot of fun. So I thought I'd share a video and a couple of pictures. Now, I was going to ask for permission before sharing, but this video has gone through a lot of alterations and a lot of edits. And I didn't think about it. And I'm running down to the wire. So some portions were recorded a while ago. Some were recorded like an hour before release. But I covered everybody's faces as a safety precaution. So yeah, I hope everybody likes it. It was a really good time though. Everyone was really nice. Seeing all the different VR headsets that they had for testing, the office looked comfy as heck. And dude, the 3D printer was cool and everyone was so nice and they tolerated all my questions and I had a lot of questions. But anyway, take some pictures. Pretty much. Dude, when it said 700 miles, I was done. That's so cool. I like its little pitter patter. Crispy's a electrical engineer, so he would find this shit pretty fascinating. Now, the next video on Massive Loop is going to come out in a couple of days. It's not going to be a sponsored video, but it will be a sponsored stream. I'll be streaming their happy hour, which will be hosted by the creators of Massive Loop, where we'll be able to do a better job going into some of the finer details of, what all of this is, how all of it works. But yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I'll be able to talk more in detail about certain features, alongside show you guys more of the vision and long-term plans for the actual project, which is pretty exciting to me. And they're all really nice people, and it's always a really good time. Anyone can join in, as they're publicly hosted on their Discord and in-game. But I hope to see some people there, as I'll be there, some Hapus will be there, and I mean, to be fair, it's always a lot of janky fun whenever I'm there. So stop by and say hi. I'll put in the description when it's going to be. Heyo, I wanted to catch y'all before the video ended to tell you a few things. I'm sorry this video wasn't uploaded on the first. I went through a couple versions of what this video should be, and I kept encountering IRL interruptions throughout writing, filming, and then as I was finishing editing, my bank account was hacked. But the next video is being made with the assistance of a small team that I've been creating to assist with the video's quality and production in general. And I'm friends with a couple of smaller streamers and YouTubers who are helping me figure things out. So make sure you come back on the 16th for a video with considerably higher production and editing. But until then, I should have 5 videos between now and then to practice on and find my style. So thanks for watching. I enjoyed making this, and hopefully y'all liked it too. Bye bye.